Let's bring in ABC's Patrick Reese joins us now from Odessa, Ukraine. Patrick, you have covered this case, both these cases, extensively, and also the case of Trevor Reed, the Marine who was released from a Russian prison. So compare those cases, and what do you think about this quote-unquote substantial deal that's on the table?
Hi, Terry. Yeah, I mean, as you say, I've been covering these cases for years now, really. I mean, ever since the end of 2018, when Paul Whelan was first taken. And really, I think they're all part of a campaign by Russia to take hostages. You know, all three cases really figure into that campaign. And I think, as we were hearing, you know, this proposal for Victor Bout is major because for a long, long time, the idea that Victor Bout could be traded was a complete non-starter. But that was because of the crimes that he was accused of. You know, he was arguably one of the world's biggest arms dealers. And ultimately, the people that Russia has right now are tourists. And so the US has been very, very reluctant to do that. And so it is a major Rubicon for it to have crossed to have come to the decision that it is able to make that trade. But I think the big problem right now is that what we've been hearing is that, as far as we know, the US put this trade on the table weeks ago, and Russia hasn't taken it. And so now I think the big question is, why is the White House going public? And it seems like perhaps it's because it's trying to push Russia into taking the deal. And I think that means actually, unfortunately, for now, there may not be a release that imminent.
That's great caution. So we know why Americans want Brittany Griner and Paul Whelan back. Why would Russia want Victor Bout back? Is he that big of a concern for the Russian government?
You know, from the moment that Victor Bout was arrested back in 2008, Russia was trying to get him back. And at the time, they were taking pretty drastic measures to try and do that. I mean, I talked to the DEA agent who actually arrested Victor Bout, and he told me that at the time that President Putin himself was lobbying for him to be returned. But, you know, it's been a long, long time. It's been 15 years that Victor Bout has been in prison. And so the value he has, I think, has definitely, obviously, hugely diminished. I think now at this point, and this is what, again, this DEA agent believes, is that it's more about a propaganda win. It's more about Russia being able to say, look, we can force the US to give back someone like Victor Bout. But at the same time, because of that, that means they don't really want him back that much. And so I think now we have this issue where the Russians know that the Biden administration is under a lot of pressure over Brittany Griner in particular to get her home. And so they think they can perhaps get more. And I think maybe they will be asking for 2 Russians for 2 Americans.
And Patrick, you lived in Russia a long time, and you know, for Americans who are concerned about Brittany Griner and Paul Whelan, how urgent is it for them to get out, not just for their freedom, but for their health and psychological health? What kind of conditions are there for Americans being held in Russian prisons?
Yeah, you know, as you said, you know, I covered the case of Trevor Reed, the other American who was released in May after spending 2.5 years in a Russian prison. And, you know, the conditions that he describes are dire. You know, the prison that Paul Whelan has been kept in, for example, right now, is a former gulag. He's living in a barracks with 50 other men. You know, the cleanliness is not good. Tuberculosis is rampant in these prisons. And I think, you know, one of the things that Trevor Reed said, and he urgently believes a trade should be done, and they think it's urgent because every day is terrible for these people. You know, it is very hard every day to wake up in these prisons. And so while, you know, these discussions go on, and they can easily drag on for months and months, every day is very, very hard for those living it.
Absolutely. Patrick Reese, as always, I know it's late there in Odessa. You're covering the war in Ukraine, and we thank you for being with us. Thanks very much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.